Yes, everyone, hello and welcome back to Forever United TV. Tuesday morning, the 15th of July. Everybody at United, well, I think everybody at United and in the fan base and across the world and the world's media are waiting for the update on Bryan Mbeumo. Going off what's going around social media at the moment, off the back of what we were talking about last night, it looks like an update is coming. So stay tuned today. We may have updates on the Bryan Mbeumo situation. But besides that, there's a lot of other stuff going on. Contrary to reports about Manchester United only looking at everything that's happening at Manchester United right now in terms of Bryan Mbeumo, there are other things going on as well, which we want to talk about today. And this, I think, now is where Manchester United fans are hoping more than anything that Manchester United are operating. So in terms of the situation, I want to talk about Richard RIOS. I want to talk about Manchester United's hunt for a midfielder, where we're at with that, the striker hunt as well, and Bryan Mbeumo this morning. I'll go through the updates on Bryan Mbeumo first of all and where we're at, because obviously everyone wants this one over the line, and I'll go through all of the reports over from last night and into this morning. We'll get into that and get your thoughts first of all today. In terms of where Manchester United are at with Richard RIOS in a bidding war, if they do enter it, 3 other clubs coming in. Palhinha talks have come back. Benjamin Sesko, what's happening with Man United's other striker targets as big rivals come in and take away our other striker hopefuls as well. There's a lot to talk about this morning and it's quite detailed, so we're going to get straight into it first of all, and let's get on with the Bryan Mbeumo update and where we're actually at. So obviously last night we were talking about what Romano said on Bryan Mbeumo. We was talking about Manchester United obviously closing that gap on the expected structure of the deal. Obviously Brentford are looking at Tamari Hutchinson, so talk of Brentford looking elsewhere and finding another striker to replace, or another forward to replace Bryan Mbeumo. That's where we was at last night. There are reports going around this morning. I'm just going to read into everything that's actually come out and everything that's being said first of all, so you're completely up to date. And this has come from David Ornstein in terms of it's right now. Let's just have a quick look into this and see what's actually happened here, first of all. So, the gap between United and Brentford on the valuation of Bryan Mbeumo remains considerable. The two sides are several £1 million apart, apparently. There have been no significant developments over the past couple of weeks, and the deal is still not imminent. So, David Ornstein has pretty much slaughtered every single bit of hope we had last night. There were rumours that were going around on social media, like I said, that Manchester United were closing in on everything that was happening with Bryan Mbeumo. We've been waiting for David Ornstein to come out and actually say that Manchester United are closing in on this. We're waiting for Ornstein to come out and give us that significant update on what's actually happening. And David Ornstein has come out this morning and absolutely slaughtered all Manchester United fans' hopes of this actually moving forward. I'm just looking around at the moment. I mean, what he's actually said, I think it's off the back of Sky last night more than anything. I'm looking at this and I'm going, Manchester United right now, with what's been said through other sources, through Ben Jacobs, for instance, his reputation has been completely slaughtered here by David Ornstein. I think it was an update. I'm pretty certain Ornstein was talking on Sky. He does the newspaper report. So, from what he has said and everything that has been talked about over the last few weeks, right now, the way I look at it, and this has just dropped onto us this morning in terms of everything that's actually going on with Bryan Mbeumo right now. The way I read this is quite concerning, to be honest. Very, very concerning. I'm just digging around now just to find out the actual where it actually came from. But I think it was that interview. So again, just to read out what has been said by David Ornstein. Again, this is going to concern all Manchester United fans. So if you are just tuning in this morning, this has come from Ornstein, and his words were, the gap between United and Brentford on valuation for Mbeumo remains considerable. Considerable. In fact, the two sides are several £1 million apart. There have been no significant developments over the past couple of weeks, and the deal is still not imminent. David Ornstein has pretty much here opened up this transfer saga completely again here. And honestly, right now, I've gone from what I've been listening to from other journalists and everyone talking about the situation, like Romano, Manchester United still trying, Ben Jacobs, it's just the structure of the deal. David Ornstein has come out and said Manchester United and Brentford are several millions apart. Like, Jesus Christ, how much do Brentford actually want for Bryan Mbeumo right now? At this point, it's time to start thinking about walking away if Ornstein is right at this one. Because this deal, for where it's at now, like, what are we negotiating? What are we actually talking about here? Like I said, I had the whole intention of talking about everything else that was going on behind the scenes and everything that's actually happening here with Manchester United. I'm just going to get some more information on this. Right, okay, so we have got the full article now from The Athletic. I'm going to read this. Let's just get this out. Just see now from this one. David Ornstein's wants to watch Liverpool Premier League. I'm just reading through everything that's actually been said here. Bear with me 1 second regarding this. I think he's going through every single player on Manchester United and every single possible potential deal at the moment here. He's done a full article and breakdown of every single club. So I'm just digging out the Manchester United one now because I've got access to The Athletic here right in front of me. So Manchester United, okay. Sancho, Bryan Mbeumo, okay. Let's just see. I'll be it's done some of it. I'm just looking through everything at the moment. I'll focus, right, okay. I found the piece of the article here now. Our focus is on Mbeumo with Manchester United and Brentford in a standoff over price. More than a fortnight has passed since United's second bid, 55 million plus 7.5 million in add-ons. That was rejected by Brentford, who originally wanted more than 62.5 million Wolves received for Matheus Cunha. While there are some debates over the exact fee Brentford want, the reported 70 million offer by Tottenham, later denied by the club, is seen by some as a yardstick. United are being patient in the hope Brentford ease on their valuation, given Mbeumo has said he wants to move to Old Trafford. Mbeumo's mood at Brentford training has now become a potential factor in the negotiations. He reported for Brentford's training ground on Monday, and the club are relaxed about their position. In terms of goalkeepers, this is just an overall. I'm trying to find out. I think this is just an article, an overall one from Ornstein there. He's not gone into too much detail on this. But he has said separately from his article there, and this is it: the gap between United and Brentford on their valuation of Bryan Mbeumo remains considerable, reports Ornstein in today's transfer deal sheet. The two sides are several millions apart. There has been no significant developments over the past couple of weeks, and a deal is still not imminent. But talks continue as Manchester United work to complete a move for the Cameroon forward. A little bit more detail on it there and where we're actually at with this right now. Honestly, I'm at a stage now where I'm just like, I'm a little bit fed up, to be honest. Like, I'm sick of listening to people saying the same thing about Bryan Mbeumo. All I've wanted was for David Ornstein to come out at some point here and actually just give us a realistic update, which he has done, and it's completely killed any sort of hope that Manchester United have got are getting close to a deal here with Bryan Mbeumo and Brentford. There is nothing there at all. Several millions apart is the article. So what he does a deal sheet. So he goes through every single Premier League club and goes through the immediates and what's in the works for each club in the transfer window. That's what The Athletic have released this morning. David Ornstein's deal sheet. So every single club, you scroll down to Manchester United and he's talking about Manchester United still being nowhere near getting the Bryan Mbeumo deal done. Bryan Mbeumo, I've said this before and I'll stand by it. I've not wanted it to happen. Bryan Mbeumo is going to go into August. I'm convinced of it now from this. I've been saying it all along. I've been prepared for Manchester United to wait this out and get the deal that they want. If Brentford want to play hardball, expect Bryan Mbeumo to be playing pre-season with Brentford and Manchester United starting the season without him. This could go to deadline day. That's not an exaggeration. That's not over hyping the situation at all. That is a realistic look. David Ornstein has pretty much just laid that out for us there by saying there's been no breakthrough. There's been nowhere near a coming together or getting anywhere near what Brentford want between Brentford and Manchester United over the last 2 weeks. Nothing. So everything that Ben Jacobs has been saying, everything that Fabrizio Romano has been saying, have been way wide of the mark by the sounds of it. Look, he does say, David Ornstein there, that Manchester United and Brentford are still talking and everything is still obviously hopeful and they're hoping. The worrying bit there was, and I've heard this before as well, somebody told me that they're hoping that Bryan Mbeumo can push this from his side now. And that's alluded to there by David Ornstein, so that's actually right. I was worried that that might actually be the case, but from what The Athletic have written there, it does look like United are hoping that Mbeumo's going to kick up a stink. God, we did not need this morning. We did not need this sort of an update coming out on Bryan Mbeumo, because it's just now put everything back by God knows how long. Forget July. Forget the pre-season tour. Manchester United, by the sounds of it, now let's look at this here. Let's look at the facts in this and what David Ornstein has just said. Manchester United are several millions apart from what Brentford want. And he's talked about the yardstick there of 70 million. Brentford wants 70 million for Bryan Mbeumo. This is what David Ornstein's saying here. Because if Manchester United here are upwards of 62.5 million and we're several millions apart. Now, I was under the understanding for everyone else was saying that this was just the structure of the deal. This was just the amount of money Manchester United were putting down, how much United were actually paying in instalments, how long the instalments were over. For us to be several million pounds off, in Ornstein's words, this is nowhere near. This is not getting done anytime soon for Manchester United. This is actually really bad news for all Manchester United fans right now. Anyone who was hoping that there was going to be a breakthrough, I went into this morning thinking, from what's been said last night, from other journalists and everybody else talking, Manchester United are getting closer to this deal being finalised. I'm looking at this now and I'm going, from that, I don't know if it was written. It sounds like it was written weeks ago, doesn't it? But that's an actual update this morning from The Athletic, from David Ornstein. Several million apart in terms of valuation, and obviously no breakthrough and no real communication sort of encouragement over the last 2 weeks. Nothing has happened. That is worrying. That is very, very worrying right now. Honestly, just got no idea of what's happening there now with Manchester United and this saga. Let's get into some of your comments on this from this morning's news and that update. Andy FUTV says the Young saga all over again. Brits Abroad says, morning, many outlets linking Vlahovic and Sesko to United. I'm struggling to see us spend 70 million on Sesko, but if we don't, who can we realistically sign? We'll touch on that in a minute as well, buddy. We're going to keep on updating you if anything else comes out on Bryan Mbeumo, obviously, but just before we move on again, please do get in and get your comments in the live section, everybody. I want to know exactly what you're feeling. We've got a poll up right now. Should United walk away from the Mbeumo deal? Just let me know what you think about that. Get your comment in. Simple yes or no on the poll. This is off the back of the news that United are several millions apart from agreeing anywhere near what Brentford want for Bryan Mbeumo. I'm just going to read through a few more reports while you get your comments in. On this one, right now, Manchester United patiently awaiting Brentford to ease 70 million valuation demand for Mbeumo, whose mood at training could impact negotiations. That's come from Laurie Whitwell as well now. Oh, God. In terms of the also with the update on Manchester United's goalkeeping situation on that transfer sheet again from Ornstein, it was John Victor being scouted in case Baindale leaves. Oh, God, so only if Baindale leaves. Emi Martinez could only be afforded if United sell Onana. He's injured and can't be sold now, so that's that dead. Romano on John Victor also said he's appreciated internally, highly rated by scouts. Let's see if club-to-club talks follow. That was what Romano said about John Victor. I've only seen that off the back of this release from The Athletic and Ornstein this morning, just on John Victor. I wasn't going to talk about it that much, but John Victor will only come in if Baindale is sold. Emi Martinez or a bigger goalkeeper will only come in if Onana is sold, so that's not going to happen now. So I think we're finding out where we're at. Baindale at the moment isn't liking other offers that are on the table. God, United, help us, please. They are literally looking at this at the moment. Manchester United are not going to spend any more money than what they've got available unless someone is sold. It is getting a little bit scary when it comes to Manchester United's transfer activity because of the fact that we cannot sell players on. We're struggling at the moment. Good God, this is now. I mean, I don't know where we're at with this right now with Bryan Mbeumo. I'm shelving the Bryan Mbeumo talk at the moment because there's no point. There's no point. We're a million miles off by the sounds of it. It's so disappointing to hear that this morning. It really is. Unless Mbeumo would dance into the Brentford president's office in a dress and tell him who he really is, I'm not if it's going to be difficult. Well, it does look like United are hoping Bryan Mbeumo kicks up a stink. That's all I can take away from that. That's all I can take away from that. But Ornstein's embarrassed quite a few journalists with this one here. You can't hide away from that, can you? I would say quite embarrassing for Fabrizio Romano as well. I think Ornstein's actually he's killed off a couple of these journalists reporting on the Bryan Mbeumo situation here. It's embarrassing. Super chat in from OH says, despite the Glazers' poor ownership and running of the club, this is the first time I feel like our ownership has come to terms with being mid-table. An acceptance of how far Manchester United have fallen, I think I would take from that, OH. You're probably right on that, buddy. Ineos penny pinching 6 weeks ago has caused this. 62 million would have done it 6 weeks ago, but Brentford have seen a Langer for 55, so have repriced Mbeumo higher. Can't blame them. I wouldn't go with that, mate, to be honest. Let's be honest. Do you actually think that Bryan Mbeumo is worth that money? Like, I don't. Anything over 60 million is going to be a record sale for Brentford and Bryan Mbeumo. Look, they're doing their bit. They're going to try and fleece Manchester United for as much as we can. But this new pricing idea that they've got, let's just look at this in the reality of things now. We can all moan. We can all say what could have been done. We can all say what we should have done or what we thought Manchester United should have been bidding and how much is actually worth. But let's just look at the reality of the situation right now and where we actually are at with this one. It's going down a road of here that Manchester United aren't getting Bryan Mbeumo this week, which means he's not going to be on the pre-season tour. Every single journalist, I could count about 7 off the top of my head, has said that this is the play. And I went into this morning off the back of them reports thinking that we were going to get an expected update and a breakthrough. And then David Ornstein has come out and completely kiboshed that. I do actually feel now that United might not get Bryan Mbeumo. If we are going to get him, it's definitely going to have to be well the season has started. I think United, we're looking here, Berbatov sort of transfer. Spurs holding out for that. It goes down to the last day. Manchester United, we might have to take Mbeumo to the last day if we want him. But what does that do? If United, like Romano has said, are concentrating solely on Bryan Mbeumo and not getting other deals done, then we're going to miss out on every other single target that we're looking at right now, which was my main story this morning as well. Now looking at Richard Rios and that situation there, if United are applying all of their money into Bryan Mbeumo and trying to get that done and are not doing anything else, I really hope that's not the case, because we have got money in from player sell-on fees now as well. There is money there for United to use, but we've had an expected offer from Nottingham Forest. Zenit St Petersburg have made an offer, and Roma have also made an offer, as we know already, for Richard Rios. There are 3 clubs ahead of Manchester United already when it comes to the Richard Rios transfer. So United, again, if Mbeumo is holding everything else up, what you got to look at here is, do we actually just say to Brentford, forget it? If you want that price for him, good luck. Because next season, the valuation of the player is going to drop through the floor, because you are going to desperately put that add-on to his contract, which you can do as a club. Yeah, that'll be a triggered extension of 1 year to the 1 year that he's got into this next season. And they're going to have to deal with that then. At this point, for Manchester United now, if this is the case and they know for certain, the problem I've got with it is Manchester United have known this for 2 weeks and we're only just finding out about this now. Well, do we trust David Ornstein? He has been the one that has been on top of this from the start. And I did say yesterday, we're not going to get anything significant update-wise until Ornstein says something. And this is a big one. This is massive this morning. But I'm worried now about the other deals. I'm worried about what's happening with the likes of Richard RIOS. I'm worried about what's happening with other deals that Manchester United could be getting, because we can't get rid of the players that we want to get rid of. Oh, he's going to start turning into a big negative pool now, this today. Expects this fan base to start turning a little bit nasty. To be honest, it already is, isn't it? There's nothing I can do to back anything up on this here. Again, my biggest concern with this is, why is it taking so long for us to find out that we're several £1 million apart? We should have walked away from Brentford and Bryan Mbeumo weeks ago if this is the case. That's how I see it. And that really does piss me off and annoy me. It really does. I think this deal now is as close to collapsing as it is to being completed, going off what's been said this morning. And someone at United needs to make a decision on this now. Someone really does. We need to stick to our price. We have been bent over on deals for years, and we need to break the cycle. And maybe that means move on, but don't overpay. At this point right now, and I've got a poll running. Do you walk away from the Bryan Mbeumo deal? This is a tight poll, by the way, and this is, I think, is going to be a close call now for a lot of Manchester United fans. Do we walk away from Mbeumo now, knowing that we are nowhere near what Brentford want? Their unrealistic price of Bryan Mbeumo. If they want 70 million, United are not getting Bryan Mbeumo. They're not getting him. I'm going to say that right now. They're not going to pay that money. They'll walk away from it. As simple as. Should United walk away from the Bryan Mbeumo deal? Is the poll. 43% of you have said yes, and 57% have said no. There is a big majority here. Not a big majority, sorry. There is a big chunk of the fan base here that are actually like, no, sod off, we're walking away. There's a lot, as I say, we need these players in. We need to get the deals done. And that's the debate, and that's the argument amongst Man United fans right now. Staffo says, we need to stick to our price. Yeah, I just read that one out, sorry. We do. Brian with a super chat. Thank you, mate. And thank you everyone who has dropped them super chats in. Staffo, OH, Brits, and the FUTV already. We need to pay an extra 3 to 4 million to get Mbeumo done. This is affecting other deals now. If we buy another cheaper Bayindir for less than 10 million, it will be a false economy. Let's get a proper keeper for F's sake. We can't and we won't because of Onana. That is Man United's plan. We're finding out bits and bits of Man United's transfer plan now as we go along, and at the moment it's being found out and it's a little bit flawed. I cannot try and defend anything that's going on here at the moment. We are struggling, and it does look like we are on our arse a little bit with this now. I've said it 4 weeks. If you know I have, and you know I have Adam, 65 million will do the deal. That doesn't say to me several millions apart, mate. To be honest, from what Ornstein said, Manny, Manchester United have actually bid over 62.5 million. There's never a world in where somebody pays the full price up front for a player. If they're thinking they're going to get a similar deal to what they got for bleeding Ivan Toney from the Saudi Pro League, Brentford are absolutely off their rocker. They're never going to get that deal. Everybody knows it's different in the Premier League and in European football. Nobody can afford the money that Saudis are paying. They don't have to abide by financial fair play rules. So they have to understand that add-ons are a big part of deals going forward. I can't get it in my head why Brentford actually think that this is actually okay. Like, he's not worth that much money. It's crazy to think that they want that much for him. But the bigger picture for us as Man United fans is that this deal, like I said it a minute ago, it's closer to being off and collapsing than it actually is being completed now. And that, I think, is the biggest worry for United. And if they do stick it out till the end of the window and they really want Bryan Mbeumo, then what deals fall away in the meantime while we're waiting around and all our money's tied up in this deal? What are we missing out on? That's my major concern in all of this. Block says with a super chat, we need to stop effing around. Morning, everybody. Thank you, Block. Thanks, Sean, for that, mate. We do. We need to make a decision, yes or no. Because we're going into the season at the moment, I think, with just Matheus Cunha and Diego Leon as the new players. I don't see anything else happening now. I really don't. I mean, it could change, but I know that Manchester United, if we've waited this long, now going on 7 weeks for Bryan Mbeumo, then we are now in a position, I think, to probably say, well, we've done 7 weeks. Let's do another 4 or 5 weeks just to make sure we get our man. I think we're that stubborn. I think that's what INEOS are and that's what they're made of. I think that ultimately is the biggest concern for us all now as United fans, that we're probably going to miss out on everything else. Because the one thing that Romano has constantly said is that Manchester United are fully concentrating on Bryan Mbeumo. It's Mbeumo, Mbeumo, Mbeumo. Nothing else. We're not even allowed to speak about other targets at the moment, according to Fabrizio Romano. And we, like I said before, there's now 3 clubs actually bidding for Richard RIOS right now. In Zenit St. Petersburg, Nottingham Forest potentially, and Roma, all ahead of Manchester United. So the midfield options are dwindling away right now for Manchester United, as well as our striker targets, because Liverpool have approached Crystal Palace for Mateta. So that could be a potential move for them. Of course, he would go to them ahead of Manchester United any day. So there's another one gone. Ollie Watkins is too dear. Villa are not selling him. There's another one gone. Ekatike is on his way to Newcastle, if you listen to reports. That's another one gone. We know that Gyökeres is at Arsenal. Delap's gone to Chelsea. We are running out fast. Today's the deadline for Moise Kean and that 45 million buyout for him from Fiorentina. So, again, if you are Fiorentina and no one has gone in on that release clause, yeah, you could say that they may think they'll be able to get the player cheaper after that release clause date. But let's be honest, after having a breakthrough season last season, it's probably going to go up. And they're not going to give him away. So they're probably happy about that. So there's another striker target gone. And all of a sudden you start thinking, oh my God, don't even go there. But like I said, if this window drags out and drags out and drags out right to the end, all of them free agent talks start to appear back onto the scene again. This is going to throw a spanner right in the works when it comes to all of the journalists and what they're talking about now. I don't think anybody expected this sort of news. And we could say that the deal could still get done with Bryan Mbeumo, but it's that line from Ornstein this morning where he says both clubs are several £1 million apart. What's several? What is several £1 million apart? That for me is definitely more than 65 million if United are at 62.5 now, as reported. That is a fair price for Bryan Mbeumo. I'm sorry. If I was to say, if I'm involved in this poll right now, I'm walking away from Bryan Mbeumo. I'm sorry. I love the guy. I'll be gutted. But at this point, this is the future of Manchester United as well. F off. Sorry. Forget it. If they're sticking to it, if United have an idea that there is a chance that Brentford might drop because Bryan Mbeumo's not happy, I think they're waiting it out for Bryan Mbeumo to actually come back into Brentford training to try and force something in happening here. I do. I think that this is where it's at. So all the talk of the extra week that Bryan Mbeumo got given while this deal was being talked about is complete and utter nonsense also. It's insanely frustrating for us. But I think this is, one way or another, we said that it was going to be a big Bryan Mbeumo update, didn't we? And we're going to find out what's actually happening. Right now, I think we've got it. And you know what? I'm kind of at ease with it a little bit more now. It's the unknown that kills me more than anything, and not knowing what's going on. Now I know that we are 1 million miles apart. I can start looking elsewhere and thinking about United not getting Mbeumo. And that's where I'm at as a fan right now. I'm sick to death of it. Honestly, just make a decision, United, one way or the other. Put everyone out of the misery or get this deal done. If they're not going to allow Bryan Mbeumo to leave after 7 weeks of negotiations, I don't know what's going to change. They've said they're happy for him to stay. Unless Bryan Mbeumo kicks up a stink now, and United are relying on how long that takes, you're putting the whole transfer window at risk here. I think there is money there for Manchester United to put down on a really good striker, possibly, if you're not going to get Mbeumo. We've got 10s in this football club. We've got 10s there already. If you're not going to be able to get this deal done, if you've got £62.5 million worth of money already laid out, there are other really good players out there for that price right now that United could possibly get a hold of. You could even maybe get 2 players for this right now. This is the decision that Manchester United are going to have to start making, because I'm seeing no signs here that Bryan Mbeumo is going to be on that tour like everyone was reporting. I'm seeing no signs here that we're going to be seeing Bryan Mbeumo this month at all. And then going into August, it turns into crazy season, doesn't it? And like I said, everyone starts then talking about the other potential deals for Manchester United. I don't follow any fake journalists, Chris. Nonsense comment there, mate. I'm talking about Romano. I'm talking about Ornstein. I'm talking about Ben Jacobs. I'm talking about Florian Plettenberg, what all of these have said. So nonsense comment there, Chris. Go easy on that, mate. I'm just giving you the news, pal. So steady on. It's not my fault. I know a lot of fans are angry right now, but obviously don't shoot the messenger, please. I'm just bringing you the news. We did the same with Agate and got him in the end. Don't panic yet. If we can get him, we'll get him. Can't say any more than that. The problem with Agate was that he was the last signing in, wasn't he, for United? We got other deals done. We've got one signing in, and this is stopping everything else. And that's what Romano has said. No interest in anything else until Mbeumo is done. So, Agate, I get what you're saying, Greg. It's a good point, mate. It did take a while. Definitely didn't take this long, though. Because let's not forget, we didn't start bidding properly or going into the process of negotiating with PSG for Manuel Agate until the second half of July, I think it was. Middle of July, 2nd of July. Let's not forget, we've had a whole extra month of this transfer window where we have known that Bryan Mbeumo wants to go United, and we've not managed to make the deal happen. And this is down to Manchester United being stubborn, I think. United's last offer was 55 million, Adam. They haven't put an official third bid in yet. 55 is several less than 60. No, it's 55 plus 7.25 in add-ons, David. That's what United have bid. I'm sure everyone can see what I can see. I'm confused, and I'm sorry if you haven't seen it, David, but I'm confused why people actually think that United have only bid 55 million. It's not. It's 62.5 million. We're already at the Matheus Cunha mark for this transfer. I don't understand why people haven't seen this. If you haven't, apologies. I'm not having a go or anything, but I'm just trying to figure out why people actually haven't seen it. I hate our tunnel vision approach to transfers, it says Art212. Also, super chat in from, there's a couple in actually, I'll read through them now. Bear with me a second, guys. Whew. Okay, if we do get Mbeumo and then qualify for the Champions League, then the extra 3 to 4 mil won't matter. Well, I'm looking at Chelsea, Arsenal, City and Liverpool at the moment. Champions League seems a long way off, and it is wishful thinking. I'm not saying we can't do it, I'm just saying it's more unlikely than anything. I get what you're saying. Are United willing to gamble? Or are they banking on Manchester United saving money and not overspending on players? I get that we don't want to overspend. I get that. But there comes a point where you have to just say, okay, this deal's not happening. Chelsea walked away from a goalkeeper situation. Chelsea have walked away from other deals this summer and gone in for other targets. They've moved quickly. Manchester United haven't pivoted. They've gone all in on Bryan Mbeumo or nothing, it seems. And there's no plan B for Manchester United from this. And that's really disappointing for me. And you all know that I've been very balanced with my opinion on what United's transfer business has been this summer. But that's really disappointing for me that Manchester United have not actually had a plan B there if Mbeumo goes wrong. If we are going to chase Mbeumo all the way through the window, which looks like it's going to be the case, I'm worried because it stops other deals. That's the point I was making from Romano earlier on. Andreas says, transfer window is a disaster. What striker, Adam? Players are gone. Please name me. Please name some. This window is a Glazer, masterclass Glazers and Ineos out. Manchester United, in terms of what's happening, all of this has been caused by the Glazers. All of this has been caused by the Glazers and how they've run the football club. I know this. A lot of people are going to jump onto Ineos' back, but Ineos are coming in and doing what they know best. That's it. And that's what we have to deal with. The mess that was left before. Now, you can argue, like the point I've just made there. I'm not happy with INEOS right away this morning now, because I know that this is stopping other deals happening. You're going to have to make a decision. I've been banging on about this forever. Like, at least give us an update on where we're actually at with Bryan Mbeumo, and then we can actually properly move on to other targets. Surely that's the right thing to do right now. There are other options, surely. Like, I won't be happy if it's Bryan Mbeumo or nothing. I really won't, because that doesn't look like there is a plan there. And I said, I will judge this window when it's finished. And if it does come to a point where we don't get Mbeumo now, and that has stopped us from getting other targets, I will be freaking livid with this. And this would then be me completely giving up on the future of Manchester United in terms of negotiation and how this club is run. We cannot do that. There has to be another option there. I'm sure there will be something behind the scenes. There has to be a plan B here in this. Because this looks to me like we're going to be going right now into August for Bryan Mbeumo. And that's just not on. It's not. It's not on at all. We need to get other business done. Let's get some more comments on this. The show has taken a bit of a turn after the news that was dropped by David Ornstein this morning, everybody. If you haven't already seen it, David Ornstein has dropped the news this morning, which says Manchester United and Brentford are still several £1 million apart in valuation for Bryan Mbeumo. There is a hope for Manchester United's side that the Bryan Mbeumo factor is going to play a big part in this now, in the fact that he's unhappy at Brentford and wants to push this move on. I just don't see it. I really don't. There has been no breakthrough at all. It's not even come close, Ornstein said, over the last 2 weeks of Manchester United and Brentford coming together in agreement on this transfer. It looks like it's no closer than it was 2 to 3 weeks ago when that second bid went in. Manchester United are no closer to signing Bryan Mbeumo. That's from David Ornstein this morning. If you have just joined us, everybody, it's a little bit of a disaster in terms of news for United. It really is. Quickly, from the Athletic and what else has also been said. There has been speculation around Rasmus Højlund. This is from Laurie Whitwell. But Inter no longer hold an active interest in buying him after they signed 22-year-old Ange Johan Boni. Rasmus Højlund isn't going anywhere. Andre Onana is not going anywhere. They are both going to start the season for Manchester United. This was my biggest concern. Honestly, I understand players can improve. We can get better. And they're going to have to do a lot of improving to get there. I don't want to absolutely condemn the season straight out. I need to see this team play. I need to see what Ruben Amorim has got, what he can get extra out of these players. But I know for certain that you can forget, unless he does pull off a miracle with the current squad, and I'll make that clear, unless I've just seen these players before, and I don't know how he changes them. If Ruben can change them, he's better than what I thought. But in terms of transfer windows, if you are a United fan, this morning is not a good morning for you. The Athletic have come out and completely destroyed all hope for Manchester United fans, in that we're not going to buy a number one goalkeeper unless Onana is sold. He's out for 6 weeks. That's pretty much going to take us to the end of the window. No one's going to come in and buy him. Onana's going to be our number one next season. We're only going to buy a new goalkeeper if Bayendare leaves. So all of a sudden, it's resting on Bayendare now leaving for Manchester United. Inter Milan have given up on Rasmus Højlund. He's staying and is now Manchester United's number one striker next season. And to top it all off, Ornstein with the biggest bomb of all this morning. Manchester United and Brentford are several £1 million apart from getting a deal done for Bryan Mbeumo. Thank you, The Athletic, for completely ruining a day for Manchester United fans. I think we can all go back and sit back and relax for the rest of the day now, because we're a million miles away from getting anything done. Because that takes us into the players that apparently are leaving. United playing hardball with Antony. He's back at Manchester United finally to discuss his move away from the football club. And obviously Manchester United are not accepting Real Betis. Betis, in fact, and the latest on this, are ready to come back with, get this, a loan offer for Antony. I mean, fuck off. Sorry for swearing in the morning, everybody. Like, seriously, no. Stop this now. Like, come on. Like, some transfer gods out there or someone somewhere, please Do something. Flick a switch and make something turn in this transfer window for Manchester United, because right now I feel like it's just edging towards a complete disaster. And you know what? Even if it got to the end of the transfer window and we started talking about, and we're going to start getting desperate sort of calls coming in then, just get anybody in, buy anybody, just for the sake of bringing a player. I actually now think that Manchester United, going off this, is concerning, because, and what I'm using here is to back me up is what we've said all along, and I've said this a moment ago again, so just to be clear, so no one misquotes me, I was encouraged and I thought Manchester United were going to get 5 or 6 players this window from what was said. Now, going off the attempts and the great start to the window when we thought Mbeumo was going to be quite close to being done after Cunha coming in, Mbeumo's going to go all the way into August. And after what Romano has said, this means that Manchester United are not going to bring any other players in until Mbeumo's done. So, if this is going to drag on, we're not going to bring anybody else in. All of the decent targets are going to be gone. Manchester United are struggling to sell any players. Nothing on Garnacho, nothing on Rashford, nothing on Sancho. Juventus willing to wait it out to the end of the season. Alfredo Padula has put his neck on the block by saying there is full agreement on Jadon Sancho, by the way, with Juventus, and just not taking anything serious anymore at all. We've moved nobody on because nobody wants the players. They will drag that out right to the end of the window. And the Man United are going to be fishing in a pond of transfers for players that are desperate at the end of the window. United, I think right now, put everything they had into getting the 2 big targets, which is Mbeumo and Cunha. Like Ruben said in that press conference towards the back end of the season, 2 big players. They knew, he knew. So, if we get them 2 big players in, that's all that Manchester United are worried about. That's it. I'm telling you now, that is it for Manchester United. I don't care what the Athletics say. United want an athletic midfielder. United are going to go for a striker and a midfielder after this. I'm sorry. They're completely going back on what they said here by saying that we're only going to bring players in if Manchester United sell players. So, actively, if Mbeumo doesn't happen, we'll be able to buy somebody else. But they're going to chase Mbeumo right to the deadline, so we're not going to buy anyone else. Because to do that, we need to sell other players. And that's going to go right to the window as well. So who is going to be left come the last week of the transfer window in August for Man United to buy? Are they doing work behind the scenes now, telling players to just wait? Because that's when we're going to buy players. Are they promising players without releasing anything? There could be a plan, which means United have got everything lined up, and then bang, 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 right at the end of the window, when deals are done, United pull the trigger. I mean, there's a world where that might happen. I really don't like that world. I'd rather be organised going into the start of the season, because the 3 games that we've actually got, I'm quite concerned about, to be honest, because you've got Arsenal, who are expected to beat us, surely. Then you've got, obviously, Fulham away. Very tough game for Manchester United. First away game. And then Burnley before we go on to international break. And then we come back to play Manchester City away from home. That's the concern right now. Has this team and this squad under Ruben Amorim got enough to get through them games? I don't think they have. I don't think they have. It'd be interesting to see what players are in and out of this football club come the end of this window. It really will now, because there has been no signs of encouragement now for weeks for Manchester United. And to condemn it all, the problem that this fan base has got is they're seeing the opposition absolutely destroy it right now and just make moves in the window that we could only dream of right now as a Man United fan base. Oh, it's so gutting. It really is. It is gutting. I'm just going to say things as they are right now. You all know I've been quite encouraging about everything, but it's starting to weigh heavy on me right now. I just don't get it. I don't get how United have approached this. And that the bombshell there from David Ornstein has pretty much buried me this morning. I've lost so much encouragement from that one post. It's crazy. Let's get closer than United could ever get. Cheer up, peoples. Let's not have a go at each other. The owners are the enemy. Look, it's going to turn United fans against each other no matter what. I think this. Thanks for that, mate. It's a good point to make, Sean. Look, remember, everyone, we're just fans. We're all debating it constantly about what is good for Manchester United. We all want the best for this football club. We all want it to work out for us this transfer window. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's not looking encouraging. United the window can change at any point. Right now, we're having a bad day. In a couple of days, we might be having a good day because we've had a better update. It just seems a bit severe, that news from Ornstein this morning. And I don't know if he's... sometimes it makes me feel like they enjoy breaking that news to us. Like, they enjoy it, don't they? They enjoy just winding United fans up. That's how I feel, but that's the fan inside me. And I'm like you guys. Like, I'm angry. I'm really angry with United not getting business done. I'm worried for the start of the season. I am very worried for the start of the season. But, look, it can change in any moment, this transfer window. I just hope United have got something going on behind the scenes right now, because there's no defending them from what we've seen. Even I can't defend what's happening right now. I'm just praying that there is something else going on. And Manchester United have got another plan. Adam, have a Guinness with Turkish Delight. You will love it. Okay, I'll try it out, shall I? And Mbeumo's deal is officially off after weeks of speculation. Just accept and get used to it. You have been scammed by Manchester United as usual. I don't think we've been scammed by anybody. I just think Bryan Mbeumo and the price that Brentford want for him is ridiculously over the top. My issue is with this is, it's like, I get United going in for him, and I get why we're going for that type of player. And I just said it then, I'm worried. I hope there is a plan B behind the scenes here. I hope we have the opportunity to pivot onto somebody else. I do. Jack Jones says, Ornstein hates United and loves Arsenal. Albs says, Ineos are to blame. They have made the fan base toxic. All they had to do is have like 3 players signed by now, and everyone would be calm. No, Ineos are not to blame. I disagree with that one completely. The Glazers are to blame for this. Ineos are trying to change United after the mess that the Glazers left, and they've got an impossible task. If Ineos want to operate the way that they operate after what the Glazers have done and how far they buried Manchester United, it's going to be difficult. I don't think anyone's got any patience for how Ineos want to operate, and that's the worry now. Like I said, my only concern will be, if Bryan Mbeumo doesn't happen, so be it. It annoys me that we've let it drag out this long. It annoys me even more if United have not got another option. There has to be another option. There really does. There was a lot to talk about this morning, but it's all gone down the Bryan Mbeumo. The debate has been very, very fiercely contested in the chat. I can see it. Everyone's getting a little bit wound up. Eric 10, I won't say the last name there, but Eric 10. Where are we going? When are we going to give up on the positivity parade? I think that's probably a jab at me. Is it a positivity parade, or is it just a realistic one? I think it's real, and I've banged that drum forever. Thanks for sending the super chat to have a go at me, Eric. I appreciate that, mate. I'm guessing you are. I'm sorry, mate, if I'm wrong on that. Or is that just a generalisation that you're putting across there, that it's been a positive train? Because that's what people do label me as. And I'm sorry if I'm trying to be real and positive. Some people don't like it. Some people would rather be overly negative. I'm sorry. It's just not what I do. But thanks for the comment anyway, buddy. Right, let's get a few more in on this. Let's be fair and just even it out. Even if people want to have a go, be fair with how you do it. I told you, Adam, here we go. I told you, Adam, about Ineos, but you wouldn't have it. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is good at sacking the staff at the club. You missed a bit on that there, Henry, I think. I'm sure there should have been a bit more on the end of that, pal. Thanks for the comment, no, mate. People can keep on trying to tell me, but I know who the problem is here. I'm telling you right now, it's not Ineos. They're not the main problem. It's Ineos and the Glazers, and mainly the Glazers. The combination just does not work for United. We cannot just say it's all on Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The Glazers are the biggest problem here. And because they're now as a team, the fan base will look at moments like this and pile in on them. And that is always going to be what happens. And you know what? People who do pile in, and I've said this before, you're more than welcome to that opinion, and I get it. I totally get it. I will be livid by the end of this window with Ineos as well. My only point in all of this has been, I will judge the window right at the end, when all the business is done. If we're in this position at the end of the window, there's no hope. Even I am going to be livid with that. Constantly let down by owners. Leopards don't change their spots. I just hope Mbeumo wasn't used to make a point about standing strong. Adam wrong. Glazers loved buying £70 million Højlund players. No, I'm not wrong, because Højlund being in this team for £70 million is why we're in where we are now. Come on, Mark. You know that. I'm just checking everything else that's coming up. Right, okay, I'm just going to have a quick nosy on through. I bet X is having a meltdown right now with all of this news. Oh, good God. Yeah, I can see everyone is piling in right now. Oh, God, it's painful to watch. Honestly, it is really, really painful looking at all the headlines for other clubs as well. Even just seeing the headline there of like Inter Milan buying a 21-year-old rather than Rasmus Højlund, like dropping Rasmus Højlund. I don't think these players get it sometimes. I don't think the players get it. Like, next season, they're going to be slaughtered by this fan base. Absolutely slaughtered by this fan base if things don't go well. Expect boos to ring out around all of Old Trafford next season if things don't go well at the start of the season. It's going to be one of them. It really is. It's going to be a difficult one if we have a bad start to the season as well. We are signing 15 to 18-year-olds. How is that going to keep us out of the relegation battle this season? We won't be in a relegation battle this season. If we're in a relegation battle, then we won't have Ruben Amorim as our manager. We won't. Thanks for the super chat, mate, on that one. We won't. Ruben won't be here. If United are in that sort of area come December, then forget it. Ruben's done. There's no way. There's no way that Ineos are keeping him. And that will be Ineos' fault as well. That will be. At that point then, again, that's something else to go in on him. In terms of a few people mentioning the shirt as well, again, if you are liking my retro shirts that I've got on at the moment, please do. I'll just drop it into the chat right now for you. It's in the live chat and it's in the description, everybody. If you're liking this kit, if you're liking this retro top, go check it out. The link is there in the live chat right now. And obviously it's in the description. I've pinned it up there for you. Go check it out if you want to get your retro kit at OK Jerseys. That's where I got mine from, so you're all aware of that. Saeed Hussein in the super chat says, in Mbeumo deal, Ineos should blame... I think you're saying Ineos should be blamed because they know the price at the beginning, which is a fair price. No, it's not. But they dragged this deal, then Brentford demand more. It's not a fair price. Mbeumo's not worth 70 million. Look, you're going to try and negotiate a better deal if you know you can. You're not just going to accept the price and give them the money. That's not going to happen. It never works that way. Let's see. I bet we'll get some more from the Athletic and more on this deal as the day goes on. I think we'll get some more. I'll do some digging around as well and try and find out some more information on this. Thank you, everybody, for all of the likes on the video. Thank you, everyone, already that has dropped them in. We are closing in on 600 live likes, which is epic. Thank you, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button as well, everyone, if you haven't already. Really appreciate that. It helps the channel out and it's completely free, so thank you, everyone. Just to summarise and go in on this, so you're absolutely aware as where I'm at on this, because there's a lot of people having a go at me. I understand why you're having a go at me. I won't be happy if United don't sign Bryan Mbeumo. I will be even more disappointed if we don't have a plan B and this drags out and stops other deals happening. That's my biggest problem with this. I'm not happy with what's happening right now. Just so everybody is very aware, I'm not going to try and put a positive on this. What needs to happen now is United need to make a decision before this Bryan Mbeumo deal gets in the way of other transfers this summer. That is my biggest concern. What this is going to do to Manchester United's window if they keep chasing Mbeumo. Because we know for certain nothing else is happening right now, significantly or confirmed-wise, while the Bryan Mbeumo saga is going on. I think we can safely say that's been the case so far this window. And if it carries on that way, then there's going to be no one left to buy in other areas of the pitch. My biggest concern is there is no plan B. And that is unacceptable. Unacceptable from Manchester United. So let's see what happens. Let's see if anything else comes about from this. But yeah, I am pissed off, honestly. I really am right now with that news this morning. If that is the case, then God knows what's been going on this last few weeks. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Do get into the comment section when the video has finished its live as well, everybody. Obviously, it's not going to be an easy day, but I'll bring up any updates that come around as the day goes on. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, mods in the chat. I will be back later on, as always, with anything that does happen. Give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, everybody, and I will see you all